Hi there and welcome to the third chapter of the iOS 9 developer course. And in this video, or actually in this whole section, we're going to get everything ready. We are going to install our Xcode and we're going to create two very simple apps, but really just to get into the programming. And in the next chapter, we then will start to have a look at Swift and see what we need to know, which basics we need to know before we can go on and create more sophisticated, more advanced apps. So let's just start with downloading Xcode, as this is the environment in which we're going to work. It's an IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment, which is pretty much an environment which enables us to create iPhone apps, iOS apps in general, so also iPad, Mac OS X apps, and it really helps us to do a lot of stuff much faster than we rather than developing it by hand in any other tool. Well, there are plenty of tools in which you can develop for iOS, but Xcode is the one that is preferred for Apple, and it's quite a good tool. You will see how easy it is to handle. So there are two ways of getting Xcode. One of them is simply installing it through your App Store. So you could simply search for Xcode and install it from there. But here it's important to look at the version. So here it says what's new in version 6.4 at the time of this recording. And while I was recording this video, Xcode 7 with support for iOS 9 was not open yet. It's still in the beta phase, but at the moment when you watch this video, it probably is already out. So whatever the version here is, it's really important that it's at least iOS 9 and at least Xcode 7, because otherwise the code that I will show you might differ a little bit. So when you type in the exact same things that I type in, you might get some bugs and some errors that would appear. So that's why it's important to install the proper version. In case it's Xcode 7 here, go ahead and click install and then just do the standard install procedure. And otherwise, you have to download the Xcode beta. So here it's important to use 7 as the version. And then you will find this developers.apple.com page where you have the Xcode downloads. And there you can find directly the Xcode beta pre-release. So that's the one that I'm using, Xcode 7 beta 3. And what's important here is that it uses Swift 2. So it's the latest version of Swift at the moment of this recording. And it supports iOS 9, which is pretty cool. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and develop with this new tool. So if you come ever across the problem that the stuff that you are working on, so the applications, the tutorials that you find on the internet about how to develop in Swift, then you might run into problems using the exact same code that they are using, because they're using Swift 1 or Swift 1.2 as a version. And some of the code and some of the syntax has been changed from iOS 1.2 and 1.0 to Swift 2.0. So in case you want to do the exact same code that they were using, you would need to download an older version of Xcode, maybe Xcode 6.4 or even older. As you can see here, Swift 1.2 is the programming language. And otherwise, you can go ahead and download this version. So all the code that I'm going to work with is going to be in Xcode 7 and pretty much in Swift 2. So yeah, you can just simply click download Xcode 7 beta 3 here. There you have to log into your Apple developer account. And after you do that, you can download the tool and just open up the damage file that you have, double click it and follow the instructions of installing. I hope you know how to install a tool or a simple program. As soon as you have installed all the, as soon as you have installed Xcode, you can go ahead and watch the next video where I will quickly walk through Xcode and tell you what is important to know and which settings you might want to change and so on. So see you in the next video.